Good morning, children. Welcome back. In a previous session, we had studied why there was need to separate substances, and we had also studied different methods of separation. Just a quick recap, children. The need for separation was in order to obtain pure substances, to remove impurities, and to separate two components from a mixture in which both the components are useful. Then we had studied different methods of separation such as hand picking, threshing, winnowing and sieving. Hand picking was used when the impurities were large sized and the given mixture which was to be separated should not be in large quantity. Then threshing is used to separate dried grain stalks from grains. Then we had also studied winnowing. Winnowing was used to separate lighter components from heavier components from a mixture. Then sieving was used when we had impurities of different sizes. Now today we are going to study children sedimentation, decantation and filtration. I hope you are aware of this. You have studied in class 5th also. We will study it again. Now what is sedimentation, children? Sedimentation is a process of separating two substances, or in this process what happens, the heavier component of the mixture settles at the bottom after adding water to it. And that component which settles at the bottom, or the heavier component, is also called as sediment. And the process is called as sedimentation. And the next process, children, why we are studying it together? So that you understand it nicely. Now decantation. What is decantation? Pouring of the clear liquid without disturbing the sediment at the bottom is called as decantation. Again I am repeating, children. The heavier component of a mixture, when it settles at the bottom after water is added to it, this process of separation of solid liquid is called as sedimentation. And then pouring of clear liquid from one beaker to another without disturbing the sediment is called as decantation. Even after decantation and sedimentation, children, sometimes impurities are left in it. Then we do the method of filtration. In filtration, what happens, children? Here, children, there is a beaker in which I will show it to you also, but I will explain it to you. We have added sand to water. Okay. Then what happens? Sand being the heavier component, it settles at the bottom. Then without disturbing this sediment, what we do? We pour the clear liquid. We pour the clear liquid into this beaker, and this clear water is collected in the next beaker, and the sediment remains in the original beaker. Then still what happens, if we find certain impurities are there, then we will take one beaker with a funnel and we will line it with filter paper, and then we will pour the this decanted liquid in it, and still we will find that the impurities will settle here, and then we will get the clear liquid down. Here, children, I will show it to you. About half an hour earlier, children, I had added water to sand. So what happens? See, children, can you see the layer of sand settle at bottom? Then what I am doing, children? This I am pouring it like this. This is the clear liquid. See, sediment is left here in this beaker, and here in this glass I have a clear liquid. Now, children, this again, if you find impurities in it, I can use a sieve or a muslin cloth or porous cloth, and then I can separate it again, and then I will find that impurities are left in that sieve. You can try this experiment at home also. It is very easy. Okay, children, now the common example of sedimentation, decantation at home are, you must have seen your mother washing rice before cooking. So what happens, children? Once she pours water in a vessel, with rice, the grains of rice settle at the bottom and all the impurities they start floating on top, and the water becomes muddy and dusty also. So then by the method of decantation, sedimentation, the muddy water is separated and the clear grains of rice are left behind. Then for filtration, we sieve liquid tea in it and to separate the tea leaves from it. Then when you make juice, vegetable juice or fruit juice, what you do after churning it or mixing it into a juicer, you sieve the juice so that you can remove the seeds and the solid particles of the pulp. So this is the method of filtration and sedimentation, decantation at home. I hope children these three methods of sedimentation, decantation and filtration is clear to you. Even when your mother makes paneer at home, after adding vinegar or lemon juice to milk, what happens children? Paneer comes on top and then the liquid is left behind. Then you can strain it through a strainer and then you will get a solid paneer. So these are all examples of filtration, sedimentation and decantation. I hope children it is clear to you. Thank you and God bless.